Hey, folks. Welcome to the SmackDown podcast. What's going on?
What an intro.
What a just... I didn't want to yell this time, man. I didn't want to yell. Listen, man, we are the SmackDown podcast. We are your hosts, the deadpan comic, Mr. Benji himself.
What up?
The AJ Styles of podcasting, Sebastian.
What's up, guys?
Hey, and of course, I am Kyle. That's pretty much it.
Great.
We're missing Mr. Rob Roode. Mr. Rob Roode had to go to bed. It's too late for him to record our SmackDown episode. You can find us on Twitter at SmackDrawPod, myself at The Kai Tai Show, Calavera Comedy for Mr. Benji himself. 2 words, can't see me, for the Rob Roode that we can't see. And that's 2 TWO, the letter C. And then, God, I love your Twitter handle. Sebastian is at WrestlingFan_32. Oh, boy.
It's not Vince McMahon wrote it.
I know. That's awesome. We'll blame him. Digging the shirt, Benji. Digging the shirt. What's up with that?
Shout out to my girl, Valentina Loca, for the fucking merch.
Hell yeah, dude. Thank you guys for joining us. If you're listening to us on Podbean or Spotify, awesome. Please do us a favor. Hop on over to YouTube. Give us a like and subscribe. Make sure you're searching for, of course, the SmackDown podcast. And help us achieve 100 YouTube subscribers to not only get our custom URL, but to get a custom recording with Mr. Benji in his full-on skull face paint. That's going to be cool.
Who doesn't want to fucking see that, right?
I know, man. I mean, it's something to work for. Whenever you give people incentive that will make you physically do something, I feel like they're more inclined to do it.
Just to be... Okay, yeah, that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah. That's why those punishment videos are, like, so popular. Is, like, you know, they do predictions, and then next thing you know, you got to sing karaoke at, like, a funeral or something. Fucking YouTube's weird, man.
That's dark.
It's so dark. Oh, boy. Our show, we cover your WWE programs, Raw, SmackDown, Benji and myself, and Mr. Frozen Sebastian there. We like to cover NXT and 205 Live. We will cover the pay-per-views, which SummerSlam is the next one upcoming, and it's shaping up to be something good. But we also do like the takeovers, and then every now and then we might cover a special event. AEW is on the rise. I'm sure that's going to get tossed into the lineup. And then I was actually going to talk to you, Benji, about Triple Mania coming out Saturday. Yeah, man. I like Triple Mania because everything I've heard about it is like a train wreck. Like it rides so loose. Like everyone I know that's ever talked about, like on the last Triple Mania, didn't you have like Vampiro farting on the mic, like clearly farting on his mic? Telling people to hit his music. Oh my god!
I gotta talk about that. But it's a unique show. Let's just say that.
You're gonna have Cain Velasquez debut. Like, boy, man, former UFC heavyweight champion. I'm a big UFC MMA fan, so that's what's got me intrigued to watch it. To be fair with you, but today's show is SmackDown following the mostly positive received Monday Night Raw, which we did learn that Paul Heyman pretty much was the most hands-on since he's come back under the WWE banner. So this has got some big shows to fill. And overall, I got to say, you guys, even hearing the rumors that Vince tore up the scripts just a couple hours in advance, the show was good. I think so, at least. I think the show was pretty damn good, man.
I thought it was good.
Well, to be fair, I didn't get a chance to watch it, so I'm looking forward to the recap from you guys.
Oh, shit, that's right. Yeah, you're along for the ride. We're providing exposition, and you get to comment along with it. Well, anyways, I guess addressing Sebastian here, one thing that I loved about this show that we don't get in WWE programming enough, got a hell of a cliffhanger to end the show on. Yeah, man. You talking like full on drama, whodunit cliffhanger. We'll make sure to get to that along with.
Wait, is that Roman Reigns thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
Um,
can't wait.
and then we also got the early announcement to set the tone. Shane McMahon's pre-taped announcement that he will not be part of SmackDown. That was definitely well received.
I was all in right after.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, they're listening. They're trying. Like they are trying to keep this momentum going, man. They knew.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think they should keep him off camera, keep him off the show all the way to SmackDown or SummerSlam. We don't need him for the go home angles. Just have him sending his goons out every week.
I say just get rid of him completely. Like he does nothing for me.
Cancel the
He really
match.
doesn't.
You know, just cancel the match. Have KO come out there. Shane doesn't show up. He forfeits. That's it, man. It's just, to be fair, I don't even think the crowd would complain that much. I really don't. No. We had a good women's tag team match in there. We had the King's Court with Trish Stratus.
Oh, she came back.
Yeah,
nice.
They were in Memphis, so they brought the King out. And what else did we have? We had a really good pre-taped interview with Randy Orton as well. It's so weird that Randy Orton is like, this dude is amazing. It's just whenever he wants to be. If he's not into it, if
you can easily tell when he's not motivated. He's just phoning it in. He doesn't care. You could see it. It's so obvious. But when he cares, it's night and day, man.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
And then we even got a little bit of a Firefly Funhouse in there too, so that was pretty nice.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, but
Some Firefly Funhouse.
let's go ahead. We kick it off once again. Kicked it off with pre-taped before the show aired. Shane McMahon announces that, everybody, I'm sorry, but I will not be part of tonight's show. And you have a live reaction of the crowd. Crowd goes bananas, like Kofi just won the championship. Hearing that Shane McMahon will not show up to work. I like his excuse. He says that his life coach essentially is telling him to find Zen. He's like, you got a big match. You need to just focus on you. You're too stressed, Shane. So he puts it on his life coach. He's spending time.
He hung out with RVD after Robert.
Yeah, that's who his life coach is. Damn it, that would have been a good question. Oh my gosh. Well, we cut to in the ring. Kevin Owens comes out. We get an unofficial KO show. He gives a very insincere, "Oh no, Shane isn't here. What are we ever going to do, you guys?" And rides that out for a minute. He then proclaims this isn't Shane McMahon's show. This is the Kevin Owens show. Crowd was, I would say they were like 75% into. It's weird, man. It's like Kevin Owens needs someone in front of him to to really get that juice out of him. Him just mocking Shane isn't there wasn't like the biggest thing, but it wasn't terrible either.
Like, he's good in promos, but when he has a back and forth with people and he rips or improvises whatever, that's when he's spot on.
So that's what I'm trying to reach for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's kind of like how when I wanted to do this podcast, I did not want to do it myself. I wanted to bounce off somebody, and that's probably where Kevin Owens is really strong there too. Drew McIntyre comes out representing Shane McMahon. Gives a brief promo. You talk too much, KO. Pretty much says, guess what? We have a match lined up tonight. And then he just jumps him. Beats him down on the outside of the ring, tosses him over the commentary table, grabs the mic and says, "Oh yeah, by the way, the match starts right now." We cut to commercial. Match comes back. Seb, it's a badass match, right?
Yeah, really good
Okay.
opening.
These guys did not phone it in. This was like almost pay-per-view quality stuff. Like, it went a half hour.
Oh.
Promo
That's
promo
20,
and
25
match went about a half hour. So I would say the match was probably given a solid 20-25 minutes.
That's good.
Yeah, we saw Kevin Owens land a nasty frog splash. Like, boy, man, when KO can deliver, like when he got some elevation with the frog splash. He
got a senton in there.
got a senton. He countered a Claymore with a gnarly super kick. He even landed the recently missing pop-up powerbomb on Drew McIntyre as well. It was nice to see that come back. These guys had really good in-ring chemistry. Like, I could see a good feud coming out of this once you can remove Shane from the equation. Maybe just introduce a title for these guys to fight over. Absolutely. And then the story was that essentially you really didn't believe that Kevin Owens could beat Drew McIntyre. Drew had a lot of control and really seemed to, like, whenever KO just could not keep him down. That did change, though. At one point, McIntyre, frustrated that he couldn't keep Kevin down, tries to put him through the table, gets reversed, gets a stunner on top of the commentary table, gets thrown in the ring, another super kick, second Stone Cold Stunner. Kevin Owens gets the win in a hard-fought, long, drawn-out fight with Drew McIntyre. And by this point, the crowd's hot. Like, it was a good open, man.
Nice.
Absolutely, probably thinking about it now, match of the night, and it was what opened the show.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
And too, I felt like the loss didn't really hurt Drew a lot. I mean, he took 2 stunners, pop-up powerbomb, the gnarly frog splash.
Took everything in Kevin Owens' arsenal to keep him down. It took everything. Yeah.
But do you guys think that this probably should have been the SummerSlam match versus Shane McMahon?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Anything, bro. I'd take anything over Shane McMahon.
Dude, you could friggin' bring James Ellsworth back. I'll take that over a Shane McMahon match.
Damn.
Bring Brutus Clay back. I mean,
Brutus Clay.
Oh man, the Funkasaurus, bro. Jesus. We got Dolph backstage. So the show wasn't perfect, but I don't think it had any terrible moments. Like, its worst moments were apathetic at worst. And this was kind of one of them. Dolph was backstage. He runs down a bunch of legends. Mick Foley, Shawn Michaels, Goldberg. Then he turns his attention to Miz because apparently that's where they're building the match is against the Miz. Claims the Miz isn't a great wrestler. And hell, he's not even the best wrestler in his own house. Referencing Maurice, which was a nice insult, but it was, like I said, it's exposition at best. And then we get an Aleister Black promo. What's your take, Sebastian? You and I haven't had this dialogue yet. What's your take on these promos with Aleister Black? Because I'm getting a 2016 like Bray Wyatt vibe, bro.
No, I don't mind if they're going back to the.
He's back to the pick a fight with me. He's back in his room.
Yeah, I don't mind that though. Like, there's a lot of people, saying, "Oh, he's back in his room" and all that. But we complain so much, at least I do, about overexposure in today's product. I mean, you see the same guys out there every week, and I think it's really cool that when you're going to see Aleister Black, it's going to be not very often.
I mean,
he had the great Extreme Rules match, had a good rematch, and we're not going to see him again to SummerSlam. So it makes it kind of a big deal when we do see him out there in the ring.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I guess my thing is, he says it feels like akin to like Bray Wyatt, where he says a lot but nothing really gets said. And that's what makes me worried, because then you stop taking his promos seriously. He's not quite there yet, but I remember months on end, Bray Wyatt would come out, ramble some stuff, and it was pointless stuff. But, yeah, I don't know.
As long as he keeps winning, I think he'll.
Yeah.
Now, if they make him eat pin after pin like they did Bray, then.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's true. I mean, I guess that's true. He did say that, how did he word it? That, it was almost like Cesaro was baptized through the fights that they had together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty much like Cesaro really got gained a lot even through his losses, which was cool because it wasn't like he beat Cesaro's image down. Even defeating Cesaro, he was trying to still build him up to make Cesaro feel like a big deal still. So that was actually pretty cool.
He's still putting Cesaro over.
Yeah, exactly. He just has a weird way of wording things. But I guess that, that's his thing. He's supposed to be mysterious and not Mr. I'm just really good at pro wrestling. He's supposed to be a character,
Yeah.
I'm just not sure who that character is. That's all.
Well, I mean, that's a problem for most NXT call-ups now.
It's a
That's a good point.
That's a very valid point.
That's a good point.
Next up, we had the Bailey. Well, earlier in the night, Bailey approached Ember Moon, addressing Ember Moon giving Bailey the Eclipse last week, and said, "Hey, look, we're in a tag match, but don't cross me because I'll take you out." Essentially,
Right.
And that led to the Bailey and Ember Moon versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross match, which was all right. I was kind of waiting for it to get out the gate. Because it started out with Bailey in the ring facing off against Cross and Bliss. When she got the hot tag to Ember Moon, I swear, man, Ember Moon shows glimpses of being the most talented female in ring in the entire roster. It's hard to think. Charlotte's the only other one that I feel is just as talented as Ember Moon, but Ember Moon's got an explosiveness to her in the ring. She can move faster than I think anybody else. I mean, even just her stacking Bliss and Cross in the corner and just doing a running shoulder into them. She seems to hit with a gusto that you just don't see in the women's division. And she also hit one of the prettiest damn eclipses onto Nikki Cross. She flew halfway across the ring before nailing that eclipse. It was a thing of beauty. Look up the GIF, man, Benji. You need to find it.
I think it's just a product of being on the bench for so long that she's finally given an opportunity, and she's not holding back, man. She's running with this opportunity as much as she can. She's trying to make the most out of it because they don't come around often, especially on the main roster. And from what you guys are telling me, it seems like she really is embracing this opportunity and making the most of it, trying to show everybody what she can do and what she's all about.
Did you get the same impression? Or am I just fangirling out over her?
No, you're not. She was the star of the match up until the very end. She ate the pin. You could argue about, the finish. I personally didn't really hate the finish. It fits Bliss's character. She pushed Nikki right in front of the Eclipse.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, because I made it sound like Moon won the match. No. Yeah, yeah,
but,
Yeah, but...
Moon, I'm not... Once the losses pile up, that's when I think it starts to affect. But one loss, I don't think it's as big as a deal as a lot of people. It fits Bliss's character. She pushed Nikki, so it kind of favors that story out. Then after the match, which you'll get to, we got more between Ember and Bailey. So I thought it was a good segment overall.
Yeah, so essentially, like you said, Bliss pushed Cross out. Moon hit the Eclipse on Cross. Bliss ended up attacking Moon, hit the Twisted Bliss for the win. While they're celebrating, Bailey gets in the ring. She gets her payback. She gives a Bailey to belly to Ember Moon, and Ember Moon sold that. That was probably the most impactful that finisher's ever looked. Because Ember Moon went vertical. It went almost like a backflip. Instead of your standard belly to belly, it really looked like Bailey did a half a backflip with it. And once again, just showing Ember Moon making her presence in the ring, whether she's on the winning side or not, just look really good. We got Sami Zayn backstage. scoping competition. He name drops Aleister Black, calls him overhyped, and challenges him to SummerSlam. So we don't have that long build of who's gonna pick a fight with me. We got the answer in the very same show it was asked, and it appears as though we're gonna have Sami Zayn facing off against Aleister Black at SummerSlam. Guys, is Sami Zayn ever gonna come back? Is he ever going to get to the top of the card? Because he is only going away from it. Because you got to think, there's no chance he wins this. Like,
No,
at this point, I think it's over.
Yeah.
you think it's over for him?
Yeah, I do. I think if there was the moment, it would have been when he returned. And that shit quickly set.
They separated him from Kevin Owens because Kevin Owens went face.
Yeah. But no, he's not going to win the match. He's going to go out there and do his job, and that's make Black look good.
Who's more hopeless right now, Sami Zayn or Samoa Joe?
Sami Zayn.
I think Sami Zayn. Joe he's still got time. But what they've done to Sami Zayn, go back to like his run with Bobby Lashley, and everything he's done. It's nothing good.
Yeah, the poor guy can't get a winning feud.
Yeah,
right.
At least Joe's been in the main events, and you know,
Right.
anytime the guy touches the mic, you're gonna believe what he says anyway because he's that fucking.
But he seems like his character now is just shit talker who gets his ass kicked. You know, like.
I mean, but
I feel for him.
I would imagine he'd win that big. He'd win the title before Sami jumping from.
No. I'm referring to Zayn as the crap talker who gets his butt kicked, not Joe.
Oh, okay.
Joe still kicks ass. He just loses matches.
Yeah.
As long as it's not an official match, he's like putting you to sleep and beating you down. But the moment it's like an actual match, Joe loses, unfortunately.
Right.
Joe's in a lot better place than Sami is, though.
Yeah, I mean, I had the same feeling when I asked it. I just kind of wanted to throw it out there to see if. Do
you guys think that do y'all think that Sami Zayn is today's Dolph Ziggler?
Oh man, it's a good point.
Good
but
it sucks to say it, but I mean,
there's a lot of parallels between them, man. Yeah, there's a very, very lot of similar things.
Well,
you know what you should do is throw them in a feud against each other. Who would win? Who would win if you put them in a feud against each other? They can't both lose. Like Sebastian's stream right now is losing.
It would be either a double DQ or a count out.
Right?
I guess it would depend on how soon Dolph had a comedy tour.
Yeah.
God, this is why you're on the show, Seb. Oh man.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, man. Like like Sami Zayn was cleared to come back a while ago. He just chose not to. I think again, your passion gets killed. I feel like his passion was killed. Like he's just out there, you know.
Well, hopefully the change in direction. You know, hopefully they do a little refresh with him.
Right.
When he returned and was dropping them promos about absolutely not wanting to be back, I kind of felt like he was telling the truth.
Yeah.
Right. 100%. You believed it. Like, they probably told him so many stuff, and then they give him a push. They don't give him a push. He's on the bottom of the car. He's just, and it's not like he's out there complaining or anything. Guy's doing his job, trying to make crap work, you know. But there's only so much you can do, I think.
Absolutely, yeah. It's unfortunate that the damage they're doing to his character, it translates because you know Sami Zayn, he can be the underdog Daniel Bryan-esque character and get believable wins. I mean, he'll never be the favorite, but you can believe his victories. But the way they're booking him is they're making him super weak. Like, as a heel, he's not dominant. The only place he is dominant on that mic, but the moment he's in the ring, he just can't get a win to save his life. It's a slippery slope. But I remain hopeful. I don't know. I think Oh,
So
God, it's an early prediction to say that he'll never have the world title, but it does really feel like he'll never get close to that world title.
a while back, forgot his name. Road Dogg mentioned that wins in WWE don't matter. Do you guys agree with that or disagree with that?
I agree
That
that
wins and losses don't matter.
I
Yeah.
agree that they treat it like it don't matter. You know what I mean? And it
And-
hurts everybody because of it. But I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah.
look at it like this: Extreme Rules. You had Extreme Rules, and you had all these big matchups, and then the very next night on Raw, you had that that 6-person match. That
10.
yeah, whatever. In the
Mhm.
battle royal with all the participants that lost. You know what I mean? And they were right back in the title picture. So that alone shows that losses don't matter. You can be put in a
Right.
title match at any given point. But you know what? You know what? To not be such a Debbie Downer,
Okay.
how long of a
What you
reign
got?
did Jinder Mahal have? And how often did that guy lose?
Listen, Jinder Mahal holds a special place in my heart. The Maharaja. I am not going to hate on him, so you take that back.
No, I'm saying from a realistic standpoint. Mahal was on one of the most ungodly losing streaks, was a jobbing in and out, wasn't even owning people on the microphone. And then all it took was for a couple billion people to open up a wrestling market, and then all of a sudden, bam, you're WWE champion. You know?
I mean,
So if
you could say that, but do put in the work way prior to that. Built his body up.
you mean
Was killing in.
if the work was when you're saying when he put in the work, you're referring to the syringe, then maybe. But
Whoa, 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 whoa. Allegedly, I'm not part of that. Nuh-uh.
I'm
The only
joking.
comment I have is just please don't put the title back on.
No, we had it. He had his run, man. And you know what? He appreciated it too. I saw stuff of him
Yeah.
backstage. Like, he appreciated the hell of it. He took it seriously. No, I'm not hating on Jinder. I'm only kidding.
Shout out to the Singh Bros and Mahal. I'm not part of that conversation.
Yeah, man. I love the Singh brothers now. I love the Singh brothers.
I wasn't a fan of this title reign, but I mean, he tried. He enjoyed it.
I was a
Yeah.
fan of the beginning. I was not a fan towards the end. I was more than
Well, a lot
excited for
of
him
times, you don't get those kind of opportunities, and he did the best he could with it, with what he could control. But we've seen this time and time again when guys like Mahal or Mysterio, the list goes on. Certain types of people win these titles. Their runs mean nothing, which to me is what makes Kofi's run so special. Because
Yes.
far by now, he would have been a joke. But the
Completely
people
agree.
have been so behind him that despite what normally is the MO of WWE with especially with minority champions, it's unbelievable. And Mahal is a perfect example of what happens. They win the title and then you're a joke. Mysterio wins the title, you're like, I don't know. Me personally, I've seen it too many times in WWE, so it's refreshing to see that at least someone is breaking that pattern and stigma.
It's a very, very good point. Oh man. Sorry, you got me actually all really appreciating Kofi Kingston's run because it is something special. But we'll go ahead. We'll move on. Oh, what you missed was Daniel Bryan was backstage and they finally got to
Oh.
address what his big announcement was.
What was it? Was
Finally.
it good? Was it good?
No, he just paused, was silent, and walked off again. Him and Rowan just walked out. The interview didn't
We're really redoing the whole Jericho thing?
We're doing it again, man.
Oh,
Doing it again. So, while Sebastian fixes his stream, what do you think the announcement's going to be?
Let's see. I you know what? I don't know. He might go back to eating meat. He could.
I renounce veganism.
No, I don't think it'll be that. I don't know. I really don't know.
I really think he's going to the 205 division. I really think so.
I'm
man.
all for that. I'm all for that. If
I
that
think
happens.
so, man. Rumor has it they're going to merge 205 and NXT into a singular brand and then put it on Wednesdays to go head-to-head with AEW. And the real Monday Night Wars is going to be the Wednesday Night Wars. And so what they're doing is they're going to be sending some major players over there. And Daniel Bryan is rumored to be like the lead. Like Daniel Bryan goes to 205. And it won't all happen. Like, I don't think it all happen overnight. I think Daniel Bryan goes to 205. They make another announcement. Like Daniel Bryan creates a story where he wants to elevate the show, and he realizes the only way to elevate it is team up with NXT, and then bam. And then I even heard rumors of, I want to say, like, AJ Styles going there too, as well.
All right. Let's calm down. Calm down.
Yo, but I mean, for real, man. Vince ain't playing around with that. Is from what I heard.
I'm not going to NXT. So.
You're not going to NXT, Sebastian. But
yeah, that AJ Styles seems like a bit of a reach. But I mean, if they bring Daniel Bryan over here to 205 Live, I'm a 205 Live guy, so
dude,
I am 100% with it.
Hell, oh my god, all the fresh matchups. Like,
I can definitely get behind. I can definitely.
Hell yeah, hell
yeah, man. I would.
I mean, because what Daniel Bryan has done pretty much all you can do on the main roster. I mean, what else is there left to do?
You said it, man. And look, what were we saying the other couple of weeks? He makes whatever title he's pursuing important. He made that WWE Championship important. He customized it. Then he got the Tag Team Championship, and he was on television talking about wanting to put them on the main event of WrestleMania. He treated them like they were the most important belts you could get a hold of. Mm-hmm. He would do no different with that Cruiserweight Championship. Plus, once he gets it, he'd probably change its look for the better, which that belt, granted, it's not the worst looking thing in the world, but it could use an update for the mainstream. It could, man.
Daniel Bryan versus Gulak, man? What?
Yes. Yes, I am all for it, man. And I don't think he'll announce it. I honestly think he will just...
It'll be like a surprise.
Well, see, here's the thing, though. Because people don't really... Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but people don't really watch 205 Live. It would probably go under the radar, you know? So, yeah, he probably would have to... No, they're going to announce it. Knowing WWE and Vince, they're going to make a big announcement. Hell, they might create a fucking countdown clock for him, you know? Like, till he arrives on 205. But yeah, that's my thing. I mean, we're phoning it like it's locked in. Sebastian, do you have an idea what Daniel Bryan might announce?
I mean, no. There's a lot of people speculating that at the end of the night that was going to be who Roman got at SummerSlam, but I wouldn't mind that.
Oh, shit. What if he's the one who jumped? Oh, wait. We can't spoil for Benji yet.
No, spoil it. Go ahead.
No, we'll get there. We'll get there. All right, cool. We'll go back on. King's Court's up next because they're in Memphis with Trish Stratus. The segment starts off with them reminiscing the Raw reunion. Mm-hmm. King says he was backstage after, the beer bash, and a lot of people were saying, man, they just want one more match. If they could just have one more match, And then King asks Trish directly, do you want one more match? And Trish kind of shrugs off the question. She's like, look, I'm a mom. I'm doing mom stuff, And then, of course, while she's trying to brush it off and be like, no, we get Charlotte. Charlotte comes out there. Charlotte starts running her down. I do like the touch that Charlotte had because she's so entitled. When she walked up the steps and walked on the ring apron, and she's like, "Is someone gonna hold the ropes for me?" I fucking love that, dude. Like, she was,
Nice.
"King, come here, come get the ropes for me," and had him hold the ropes open. It was good stuff. I mean, you see where it's coming, where it's going. Charlotte, insults Triss, saying that we're the real revolution. We weren't a bunch of models that got hired on for our looks, and we're second-rate wrestlers. Triss comes back at her with, like, she stands up for herself, Lita, Jacqueline, Ivory. I felt kind of bad she left out Molly Holly. Molly Holly deserves a lot more shine than she gets when you talk about that generation of female wrestlers. But essentially, at that point, the crowd's cheering one more match, and Triss goes ahead and accepts the challenge and has a mean stare-off with Charlotte. No physical interaction, but it was good, man. It was good. I for one would have liked to have seen, as crazy as it is, I would have liked to have seen Trish shoehorned into the into the women's championship match. I would have actually liked to see her, Bayley, and Ember Moon in a triple threat, because I don't understand. It's SummerSlam, and you can tell this is just set up just to get Charlotte on the pay-per-view. Like, Charlotte hasn't done anything lately. She doesn't have any major feuds, so this is just, you feel like this is just a tool to get Charlotte on SummerSlam. But that's my take. It's a minor gripe. I'm happy to see Triss come back, have a good match. I hope her and Charlotte kill it. If anyone can help I don't want to say she's rusty, but, someone who hasn't been in the biz for a long time to a good match, it's going to be Charlotte. So there's that.
To give you a little bit of encyclopedia.
Nice.
Trish Stratus was supposed to come back last time NXT was in Toronto against Asuka.
I remember that, yeah.
Only to find out she was pregnant, so we got Mickie James instead. That would have been her one. That would have been her one last match. But now seeing this they're in Toronto again, Charlotte is shoehorned in. It seems like that's been the MO of a lot of her work recently. But I mean, this is like a last time match. Like, you're not going to see Trish Stratus wrestling too often, And then from her, yeah, she was a model or whatever, but from the work she's put in, even to something like this, she takes it serious. So she's going to come prepared once they hit SummerSlam, So I'm 100% behind this.
She does stay in shape. And you have to respect Trish, because you could say she was hired for her looks, because she was a valet to Test and Albert, creating the TNA faction. And she took the wrestling aspect serious and became a credible wrestler. And I think she was like a 6 or 7-time women's champion. You have to respect her.
She puts in the work, and I mean, look, it's not even about looks. She looks amazing. I have to say, she looks fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know how old she is. I saw a Rob and his buddies running her down. Like, why does she look different? I was like, bitches, because you were watching her on TV 18 years ago, man. Like, no one's going to look the same after 18 years. She still looks incredible. She looks like, there's no way you would walk into Trish, like, on the street and pass on that. I don't even want to get too into it, because that's kind of weird. But, like, it was weird, man. Like, I just saw some judgmental stuff, and it wasn't cool, man. Trish is in incredible shape. Anybody by her age would kill to look like that.
I mean, unless you're R-Truth and don't age, everybody's gonna look different.
Dude, when we watched Armageddon, that junk shocked the hell out of me. Seeing R-Truth, I was like, oh my god, he looks just the same.
But that's cool. Trish Stratus, Charlotte Flair. Okay, I'm with that. What do we get next?
Next, we cut back to OC. They're backstage hyping up the main event. hyping up AJ Styles versus Kofi Kingston. Nothing much here. Just, get them some camera time to
All right, cool.
keep it going. Then we got our Firefly Funhouse. This was cool. This segment was ran by the Ramblin' Rabbit. It wasn't even Bray Wyatt took a back seat for this, and it was all right. It was definitely a weaker Firefly Funhouse, but it was still very good. Ramblin' Rabbit said that he is Finn Balor's biggest fan. But then he said he was worried because the Fiend has been unleashed. Ramblin' Rabbit, of course, feeling guilty and nervous about his words, runs off and is chased, and in comes into frame a maniacal Bray Wyatt. So this was Bray Wyatt in his, kid show host look, but he looked pissed off, man. He didn't look like the whole hey kids. It looked like he was caught out of character,
Yeah.
Like his true feelings came through, man. And then he looked down the lens, and what did he say? He said, "Oh, let me in," and then just started laughing. And we got vignettes of the Fiend and of Bray Wyatt laughing. Super creepy stuff.
And when Ramblin' ran right before he ran off, he also said that same thing that he said before he got smashed with the hammer.
I missed that.
Earlier. Yeah, he was like, if he only knew what this place really was.
Oh shoot, man! I didn't even hear that.
Nice.
So it was a nice playback to the earlier episode where he got
Yo, Ramblin' Rabbit's is such a main player, man, in this story arc. That's crazy. A puppet, man. Seb, I missed the next part. I took a phone call, so the segment that immediately followed the Firefly Funhouse, I missed that.
Okay, I'll go back in my notes here, make sure. I don't want to get... Okay, it was it was actually Dolph and Finn. It was a solid match.
I came in at the end of their match, so I wasn't sure if there was anything from the Firefly Funhouse to the end of their match. I wasn't sure if something else happened.
Okay. It was a solid match. Nothing, it was a solid TV match. What you'd expect out of Finn and Dolph. The finish came, lights went out, and God, the whole crowd stood when those lights went. You know how they flash, and when they flashed,
well, because now they know it's the Fiend. Whenever the lights start to go, they know it's the Fiend.
And that's how you know it fucking works, dude. When the whole crowd stands up like that, and the Fiend, he was in the corner. There was no physical contact. I guess he was taking steps, toward Finn, but you couldn't really see
To
Finn.
me, it looked like how the camera was, is that he was on top of the ramp, I thought.
It might have been.
That
might have been. And he just, lights came back on. Finn looked confused, turned around, ate a super kick.
Not a super kick.
Team,
not a super kick.
Not the commentary team played it up as Sweet Chin Music.
He got taken out with a Sweet Chin Music, and got Ziggler that win. I'm clutching onto straws, bro. You know what it's going to turn into? It's going to turn into The Miz and Dolph Ziggler, and then Shawn Michaels is just going to come in and Sweet Chin Music Ziggler while the ref is distracted.
I'm not against Miz and Dolph. I mean, they showed a few years back they have great chemistry.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
It'll be a fun match, but I'm like you. I do hope somewhere down the line Shawn gets a better final match than the one.
I mean, he's working in NXT, so you got to think that. And then that match at Saudi Arabia, probably not sitting well with him, and.
Yeah, that's not how you want to end it. I would, and Dolph's good enough where he could, him and Shawn could have.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, Dolph is known for his selling. You know what I mean? Yeah. He knows how to make people look good. Not that Shawn Michaels needs someone to make him look good, but you would think these guys would have some good chemistry. You really would think so.
That's kind of like
especially
It's
with
kind of like
them.
the same
With
thing.
I was just gonna say, especially with Ziggler being compared just aesthetically to Shawn Michaels for so long. You
Yeah.
know, it'd be a nice full circle here, I guess.
Yeah, that was my thought too. Like last, what was it? Last week's SmackDown.
Yeah.
And if you've watched the show before, I usually downplay Ziggler quite heavily. That I can't get excited with him on TV. Like I cannot get out of apathy when I see him. I don't hate him like I do Shane McMahon, but I can never get excited for him. And when I saw the segment play out on Miz TV last week, with the promos that went back and forth between him and Shawn, and then ultimately with him delivering the super kick to Shawn Michaels, I was beside myself. I was like, dude, I gotta see this match. You know, I was like, if Shawn Michaels couldn't go, of course, if Shawn Michaels can't go, I don't want to see him go. You know what I mean? But if
Right.
Shawn Michaels can produce 60 to 80% of what he can do in his prime, I'm for it, man. Because you got. It's such a good story, and then you got Dolph Ziggler is amazing in the ring. No one will ever sell that guy short. These guys can produce a great match. Like it's just it's just a matter if HBK wants to, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, fair enough.
yeah. You know what I want to do
All right.
is I want
What do you want? What do you want?
I want Seb to fix his stream, but.
Jesus.
So
Oh,
what do we get?
Let's
Next-
use the cameras, they said. It'll be great.
I know. Yeah, exactly. Whose idea was this? Next up was Ali versus Shinsuke. I missed this once again. I was on the phone again, unfortunately. I came in just for the end of this match. I assume Ali for one pinned Nakamura, our current Intercontinental Championship. I assume it was by roll up.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it was a pinning combination. It wasn't necessarily roll up. I can't remember what the combination's called. But, yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Was he getting destroyed or was he holding his own prior?
It was a pretty fair match. I mean, toward the end, Shinsuke was kind of getting more in, but, at the start, it was a pretty fair match. I'd say probably about 60-40.
And they made a huge deal about it on commentary.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
only,
I mean, you might as well pencil in SummerSlam for this.
yeah, SummerSlam, because they weren't for one dropping the whole Ali stole one like they do in some other cases, like when Apollo Crews would roll up Andrade. No, it was Ali pinned the champion. Ali beat the champion. Does this put Ali in the running? And you had Corey Graves endorsing him. Like, of course it does. So they did. Yeah, they drove it home that this is a SummerSlam match. It's an unofficial one, but it's a SummerSlam match.
Okay.
And I wasn't offended by. I know a lot of times champions eat pins, and I'm one of those guys that will play. I know Rob kind of had a problem with he put it in the group chat. But I don't think it really hurt Shinsuke. He's been booked strong. The week before he won the title, he dominated Balor in the non-title match.
Right.
And then he won at Extreme Rules, and then he beat Apollo. I mean, he's been booked strong for about a month now. And
it's a case where I want both of them to be strong, but unfortunately, there has to be a winner between the two.
And with the finish, it wasn't like he was down on his back, knocked out, so it was fun.
Yeah. We got
That was a bit tough for me. Ali being from Chicago, and then me being a diehard Nakamura fan.
Yeah.
I'm kind of torn on this one. I don't know.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's a good dynamic for you, man, personally. We'll have to keep our eyes out for that one.
All right, what we got next?
The pre-taped interview with Randy Orton, this was good. I'll try to sell it to you, Benji, as well as I can. So this is pre-taped backstage. It's an interview, but you only get Randy Orton talking. You don't actually hear anything from the interviewer. Randy Orton says, let's take it back to 2009. He runs over all the accolades he's achieved. By this point, he's been the Legend Killer, beat all the legends. He's won the Intercontinental Championship. He's won the World Heavyweight Championship. He's a main star in WWE. He said, let's look at Kofi back in '09. He's a character. He's a guy who's got a Jamaican accent to try and get over. You know?
Oh, they're going deep.
Yes. Okay. Then they run the footage of when Randy RKO'd Kofi and was yelling at him stupid, calling him stupid. They ran that, and
they brought that back.
Yeah, and they ran it several times to drive it home, like zooming in on Randy, like replaying it over and over, zooming in on him, just yelling stupid at him. Then they jump from that. They recap Kofi's ascent to champion. To really build it up, and then they end on the line with Randy saying, "Kofi challenging me to SummerSlam was stupid," and yeah, so that's the build. It was good, man. It was very well produced. It was. Rob wasn't kidding if you saw it, man. It was. To some people, it might be Goosebumps level. It was really, really good.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it was very well done. If the opening match was match of the night, this was like promo segment of the night by far.
I mean, the whole thing. I mean, you can't even really kind of write that stuff. This is a full circle with them two.
Absolutely, that's man.
Crazy.
It's one of the pleasures of having two guys that have been in the business for so long. You have stuff to work with. So if you're creative enough, you can definitely just take their history and write a story out from it.
This is why I've been saying that Kofi's run has been miles ahead of Rollins or Becky Lynch or whoever else is champion. You know, he's had feuds with so many different people, and every time there's a story behind it. He's been battling his old rivals. Each opponent brings something new. It's always something different every time. It's never the same thing. Versus you have Rollins only fighting Baron Corbin or Lesnar, and you don't really get much out of that, you know. And Kofi's entire run has been
it's an easy comparison now. If you compare him and Seth's run, Kofi's the clear winner with the more meaningful run.
100%.
We then cut to the live promo from Kofi, who's backstage with the New Day. They do their shtick. I can't really play on it that much, man. But I love that because right at this point we're introducing our match between Kofi and AJ Styles. Xavier Woods hops on the mic, says this is essentially no longer the house that AJ Styles built, referencing all the SmackDown gold that's on there. This is the Palace of Positivity. POP holding it down. It was so good. Nice. Then they show actually Big E doing his intro for the New Day. They actually show him on the mic doing it. That's always cool when you actually get to see him do it. Big E just tosses the mic. They all make their entrance. We kick off the main event.
Dude, they are on fire, man. They're on top of the world right now.
And it's
they
cool.
Got all the gold,
Six
man.
guys. Six guys around that ring, 6 titles. You had 6 champions all out there, man, simultaneous with each other. It was good, man. And it felt good. Obviously, the OC are not going to be on New Day's level because that's going to be damn near impossible for anybody to achieve anytime soon.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. New Day and they have no end in sight. They have no end in sight, dude.
A lot of it, they refresh themselves. They reinvent everything, and if it gets stale, they'll change it. Some people think the pancake thing is running a little bit too long, whatever. But just think about how long they've been together, been a team for 5 years, and never been broken up, and they've been grinding this long.
No hints of dissension outside of Xavier Woods being terrified of Bray Wyatt, and even then, it didn't even hint dissension. It was just that Xavier Woods wanted no part of Bray Wyatt.
Right. Nothing makes me madder when people bring up the pancakes trying to use that as an excuse to call Kofi a bad
Yeah, they all.
I mean,
Yeah, I hear that a lot. Kofi's supposed to be the champion. He needs to be serious. He needs to do this. He needs to be that. Nah,
Dude,
you want him
those
to be like
same
everybody.
people would be calling him a sellout the second he ditched the pancakes.
Right.
Oh, now
That's
you're
why-
just like every other champion. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what got Kofi over enough to be where he's at.
Exactly.
Stick with it. Fuck that shit. No. Be
Exactly.
now I got a question. I feel like I know Benji's answer, but I got a question for Sebastian. So they, who was it? Vince. Vince said that leading up to Kofi's title match before he won the championship, that one day Kofi will enter the Hall of Fame, but it will be as a member of the New Day, not a singles member entrance. Do you believe that either prior to this or because of this title reign, that Kofi will go into the Hall of Fame now as a singles competitor as well?
Personally, I'd put it.
You put him in?
Yeah, I would.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
he's done just about everything he can do. He's been in there for so many years. He's done so much. Put him in.
Hell yeah. I think so too. I kind of felt like it's weird because you can always take like some of the lesser known people and you're like, well, if that guy gets in, then anybody gets in. But like, part of me believed Vince in that segment that Kofi just wouldn't go in as a singles competitor. I believe this championship run, due to Benji's point, everything he said about this run, should be a shoo-in now. Like, Kofi will definitely go in. Kofi will be a 2-time Hall of Famer. He'll go in as a member of the New Day, and he'll go in as a singles competitor. So, yeah. I was just wondering.
I mean, it might be a hot take, but to me, all you have to do is be around long enough, and you'll end up in the Hall of Fame.
It's true, man. It's true.
That's-
They
I
induct
mean-
so many people every year. They run out of people to induct. You know what I mean? Like, they have to. They're gonna just start inducting like active members.
I'm not gonna say names, but there's a lot of people that are on there. It's like, what did you even really do? You know?
I, for
I'm
one,
just
am
saying.
convinced Randy's gonna be inducted before he even retires. Like, because who is it? Ric Flair
Yeah.
and Triple H are going to be 3-time Hall of Famers.
Right.
Because you got Ric Flair's a 2-time for Horseman and a singles competitor. Triple H is a 2-time, or will be a 2-time for DX and then as a singles competitor. Then they will both be inducted a 3rd time for Evolution. Because I'm convinced Evolution will get inducted. And
Of
then you'll have
course.
Triple H and Ric Flair will both be 3-time Hall of Famers, which is going to be crazy.
That's kind of overkill, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, you could see it happening, though, right?
Yeah.
I could see him doing it, man. And that would make Randy Orton a 2-time Hall of Famer because he'll go in as a singles competitor and as a member of Evolution. It's crazy, man. The Hall of Fame's out of control. But the match was pretty stranded. You could have called this. It was going to go one of two ways. It was either going to because remember, it's Kofi and AJ. It was either going to break down at some point and then be restarted as a 6-man tag match. Happy that was not the case. It broke down instead. Chaos ensued. You had everybody fighting on the outside, but no one got their hands on Kofi or AJ, so there was surprisingly no disqualification. They let the match go clean. During all the chaos, AJ Styles found himself distracted, got nailed with a Trouble in Paradise. Kofi Kingston pinned AJ Styles on tonight's episode of SmackDown.
Nice.
I was very happy. This all happened when on my clock, it was like 10:01. So I'm like, dude, all night they've been promoting Roman Reigns' big announcement. I'm like, they don't have any time to get Roman on screen. We cut backstage as the show is going off the air. Reporters saying, we're waiting on Roman Reigns to make his announcement on who his SummerSlam opponent is. They cut. Roman Reigns is about 20 yards down, just walking towards the reporter. Out of nowhere, as he's approaching her, a forklift with some staging runs Roman essentially over, or drops the staging on him along with a bunch of other equipment. He narrowly escapes with his life. There was just a small wedge of space that saved Roman's life. He comes out unharmed, bewildered. Who did it? Who did it? And that's how the show goes off the air. Now we have all week to speculate.
I've actually seen this clip. This has to be some of the worst acting. I don't know what the fuck
on Roman's part. Yeah, it was a little bad.
It was.
I thought
it looked like something out of you see something out of Ernest Goes to Jail or some shit, on some Ernest shit. It was that bad.
They should have just left. They should have left him buried. They should have buried.
I thought the camera work was pretty shitty too.
That didn't help. You could clearly tell it was just a ragdoll there. Yeah.
They should have, like I said, they should have had all the shit just fall down, then show the logo, cut the show off. The fact that
thank God there was a camera on that forklift.
Yeah. The fact that they brought the camera around to the other side, Roman's unhurt, and then has to sell this what happened. It was so weird. You're right. But I was able to forgive it because No, I was just saying I was able to forgive it.
No, I'm thinking that if they knew they were right. I'm thinking if they knew they were running out of time, why didn't they just film this? Just
pre-film it.
But I'm glad they left it on a cliffhanger. I'm a fan of that, but I thought the camera work was god awful in it. So many cameras.
I was just gonna say, if they were running out of time, why didn't they just film this during another match and then just aired the recording instead of trying to do it live?
I don't know.
When you only got 2 minutes, maybe 30 seconds left.
It's 45 seconds, bro. They had they didn't even have a minute.
It was cutting close.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Clutching at straws here. Honestly, I found myself, even though it was kind of cringy and bad, they're trying something and it's different. Yeah. It was we haven't had this big of a cliffhanger in forever, so I was like, hell yeah! We have a old fashioned whodunit story, and I forget which one of you two said it, but I didn't even consider. I was thinking this was a shoe-in for Samoa Joe, but the fact is, it could be Daniel Bryan, man. I don't know though. I don't know who it would be. I don't know who it could be, man.
Could be Finn.
Could be Finn. Oh, jeez.
No,
how excited?
The Fiend. No.
The Fiend?
Oh, the Fiend? Setting up his next opponent?
Yeah. Could be. That'd be a good way to get him going. Be the most pushed guy in the last 5 years.
How excited would you guys be if it ended up being Shane McMahon?
Oh my God, no. Jesus, don't do it. Hold on. All right, one second. All right, so that was the show. It was like I said, it was a good show. I'm always happy that they're trying new stuff, and even if the ending was some cringy acting, like I said, it was a cliffhanger. I'm totally invested in the finish, in the cliffhanger, and I'm totally invested in coming back next week. We'll dive into some questions here.
Okay, we got questions. What's up? What you got?
I got one from here. Outlaw Jamboree. I mentioned him in the last show. He said, if WWE did a G1, who would y'all have in each block, and what would the finals be? Oh my goodness. The blocks look to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Jeez, 10 people apiece. That's a lot. Oh my gosh. No, that's 20 people.
Yeah.
You know what? Okay, so we'll just build a miniature version of this. I say we both build what would you do? Like a 4-man on each side, so 8 people is what I would do, and then I'll just say who the finals are. I ain't gonna walk through each one. AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, Pete Dunne. Who's Pete Dunne's original adversary?
Tyler
from-
Bate.
Tyler Bate, yes, him. I'll get one more NXT guy. Dream, and then come back to main roster. I would do McIntyre, because he's, obviously he would be like the big guy of it. And then you have like one veteran who's like overlooked, Fit Finlay, and then
Okay.
my last one would be why not Finn Balor? And then I would have it come down to Dream and AJ Styles is who I would ultimately have it come down to. I won't reveal the winner, but I think it wouldn't matter who the winner is. That would be just a huge platform for both of them. So that's
Okay.
mine. My little 8-man tournament version of this.
You can go ahead.
Let's see. I'm gonna take 2 from NXT. I'm gonna take Dream, Cole. I'm gonna take one. I'm gonna take Pete Dunne from UK. I'm gonna take Drew Gulak from 205.
Oh, Jesus. I didn't even think of that.
Shame.
AJ. No.
He said shame, not Shane.
Oh.
Don't get Shane back in this.
The 2 from. I'm gonna take 2 for all AJ and. I kind of want to say Drew, but I don't want to take yours. I'm gonna say Andrade. Well, he's SmackDown, but I will. Kofi, Shinsuke.
Okay.
Okay. Who
Who's
you got
the
in your
finals?
finals?
Adam Cole and AJ.
Nice.
Okay.
That
For
would-
me, it's 4 and if we're doing 4 and 4. I guess I would put. Give me Andrade, give me Ali, give me Gulak, give me Matt Riddle. That's one block. The other block, give me an underdog. Give me Xavier Woods. I want to see what he can do.
Okay.
So give me Xavier Woods. After that, give me Nakamura. After that, give me a Tommaso Ciampa. And after that, give me Cedric Alexander.
Okay.
And my finals would be Nakamura versus who do I have on the left side? Nakamura versus Andrade. Give me that.
Nakamura and Andrade. Nice.
Okay.
The only thing I regret on mine is I was thinking about it when y'all was talking. I was like, you know what? I should have got Walter in there somewhere.
He popped up there too.
Yeah. That'd be good.
Just the chops
Okay.
alone.
Good question. That was a good question.
Yeah, man. Yeah, thank you again for that question. And then I think we only got one more, and I believe that's on your end, Sebastian. I think you got it.
He actually had a couple.
Okay, go ahead. Make sure you give him a shout out first.
Shad Manley, 76. The first one. What the hell happened to Buddy Murphy? And when he comes back, who would you have him feud against? It's not Ali.
Kayfabe wise, what happened to him?
Nothing. They just haven't used him at all.
Yeah, he's shown up, and
You know what?
he's disgusted.
What?
No, Shane's not there. Shane's not there, and he said he would fight for Shane. So Shane hasn't given him a fight to have yet.
Okay. Hot take. What if he was the one that attacked Roman?
Oh, poor Buddy Murphy.
Well,
Then she's like, "You going to die?"
when he did say who, Roman and KO popped up in my head.
Yeah. I think Buddy Murphy would be. You'd want to get him in there with someone good. He doesn't necessarily have to win. I mean, Roman's really proved a good stepping stone for a lot of new guys. Like, look, I mean, unfortunately, I mean, Chad Gable's now got some momentum on 205. But I remember Chad Gable's match with Roman Reigns was like the best Chad Gable match he had and probably ever had on the main roster. So, yeah, I could see Buddy Murphy going at it with Roman, looking really strong and maybe almost win at one point. Roman ultimately wins, but then Buddy Murphy just tears through like the next 3 or 4 guys that they sign him up with.
I guess I would pair him up with. Dang, I don't even know. I would say Roman. I'm gonna stick with that. I'm gonna go have him fight up.
Yeah, I kind of took that from
guy.
you, didn't I? My bad.
Yeah, kind of did.
My bad.
Because I mean, like, he would have great matches, as already proven. Great matches against Ali, great matches with Cedric Alexander, but those guys are also coming up, so we don't want to stunt anybody either, you know. So I think against the Roman or, you know what, I'm not a big Finn Balor guy, so I would just feed him to Buddy Murphy. Might as well.
Yeah, just Balor goes on a bunch of losses. The Fiend, Buddy Murphy disappears for a while, comes back, part of the OC. Look what happens when you're on the OC. You win gold.
I would think, like, okay, so Balor takes a bunch of losses. It starts messing with his mind. He's not really in control of his demon anymore. It's taking over. He starts being more aggressive, starts attacking people more, becomes more vicious, and he gets that heel turn that he desperately needs.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Meanwhile, he battles with his own sanity and controlling his demon. And you could do a whole bunch of different stuff with that.
Yeah, man. There you go. Perfect. You said they had like another one, Sebastian?
Yes. Actually 2. One kind of joking, one serious. Do you see factions coming back on the main roster as a major force?
I would have to see at least one more faction to believe in it. I feel like it's just a coincidence right now.
Well, I mean, they've really started to, like, dip their toe in that just a little bit. You know, you got Undisputed Era, Imperium. I think OC needs one more guy to call it a faction. I don't know what's the number for a faction, but you're starting to see more groups of people starting to come together. You don't want to overload it and become a WCW back in the day when everybody had a faction, everybody was part of something. You don't want to start doing that shit either, you know. But, you know, having factions and every now and then that's cool. You could even have guys just be in a faction, you know, that's like their camp or whatever, but not necessarily always have to fight together, you know.
Yeah, I can see that. I just like the idea of factions as a good tool to get people on TV, even if they're not being used. Like, they can just still be on television by association, you know, and then you can get them on the microphone, stuff like that. Because look what it did for, you know, like the New Day, even though there's 3 members, you know, it's not like all 3 of them were always constantly wrestling, but it did allow them all to get promo time and get their personalities across, even if they weren't all wrestling. I think Xavier Woods was a mic piece for the longest time, if I recall correctly, before he was getting any tag team matches. So, yeah.
And I think just to piggyback what you're saying, they have so many wrestlers on the main roster that it would make sense to have a bit more groups, more teams, as you said, to have the promo time and all that stuff.
Yeah, and absolutely. I think so, too. I think is that it, Seb, or they got any more for us?
He kind of had a joking one. It was who threw the pie at KO?
We will never know, my friend. That is just one of life's great mysteries. China was the 9th wonder of the world. The pie thrower was the 10th.
All right, man.
Yeah, I mean, not a strong outro, but guys, thank you so much for joining us on our show. Make sure to tune in Thursday when combination of myself, Benji, and Sebastian will be back to cover NXT 205 Live. Can't wait to see the unsanctioned match between Drake Maverick and Mike Kanellis with his wife as 24/7 champion somewhere in the midst there. And then, do you recall anything on NXT that's coming up? I can't remember. Like, should be something big being advertised, right?
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
You sure there's something? We'll look it up, you guys. Okay, but anyways, thanks for joining us. Benji, do you have any insightful words for us tonight?
Sure. So, in my notes here.
Oh my God.
But there was a surprise buried in the evidence of success. The kids didn't actually play the game all that much. Only 1 or 2 levels instead of 20 that had designed into the game. So what we can take from that is sometimes you just need to get in the game. And what we've seen here with SmackDown and the new directions, the new build to SummerSlam, everyone's getting into the game. So what we ask ourselves as wrestling fans and everything, are you in the game? I don't know what the fuck.
I kind of wish I had Triple H's theme song right there.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, damn it. I'll dub it in.
Play the game.
Oh, my God.
So I ripped the pages out of this book for nothing? Is that what you're saying?